Wow. Look at that. Man. That is not just coincidence, huh? Look at that. Wow. That is wild. Look at that, guys. You see that? Crazy. Look, see, look at that. Oh my God. See how everything works, and these objects that are within these areas, you know, like how I can look right here and it looks like a face or whatever, right, for me looking that way towards the left, whatever, but then on, see, look, and then we get on the right, see a face looking the other way, right? And that happens because there is a planet within there that's rotating and causing this. I can't explain how, it just is. Now look, look, another face looking like towards me right now. Ever constantly changing. It's insane. The way these things are happening. Look, guys, this is zoomed in real close down there, and look at this. Look at that. See how there's trails moving in all different directions there? That's always the case too. Look at that smoothness of the cloud. Whatever that goes all the way back that way. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Folks, I tell you right now, that is Nibiru right there, is within that formation right there. That is the Nibiru formation for sure. It has a square mouth seemingly in the front area, like you see right there, or if you want to call it the dragon, either way, I guess. Square it off. Look at that. Perfect. Obviously, it looks like a mouth, and then it goes back behind it, just like that, like you're seeing right there. That usually is much longer. Look at that. Wow. One last look at it right here. There it is. There it is. Oh, so that is your winged object right there. You're looking at it. And I don't know what it's going to do or when or nothing like that. But I can tell you this. I've seen this about, look at that. Look how its wings, look at that. See? There's one of its wings. The other one goes back this way. There it is. See it? Oh, how many times have I told you guys Nibi is a winged object? How many times have I said that? There's your evidence right there. Look at that. There's its wings. Right there. You can't see all of that one that well. Actually, that part right there is the part of the formation that goes, that I'm talking about. It's usually longer, like I just said. See? But it goes way back. I don't know how far. I've never actually seen the end, to be honest with you. Every time I've seen it, it just goes back as far as I can even see. That is Nibi, right there. Nibi, the planet, is within that cloud structure right there. I kid you not. Oh my God, people, it's April 16th, 2017. Sort of a continuation from the Echo sign. But I can tell you right now, there's a chemtrail plane right there. But I can tell you right here, I don't know if you can see it. There's a giant planet. I can see all of the trails. I can see there's a whole giant circle, like a little above the sun. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I can see it. I can see the trails like going all the way across the circumference of it. I can't tell what you're seeing because I'm getting blinded. There's a curvature of it like right above the sun. Very well, you can see it. I'm right here all the way. Hopefully I'm catching it. Yeah, you can see it right there, see it? On the right side. Look, right there. See it, people? All you people don't believe there are planets here and all that. Look, there it is, right there. See it? We can see the outline of it, but look. People.
Now I've darkened it out a bit so you can see it more in detail and how the objects are coming up and over this object itself. Now this was a bit later on in July, okay, towards the end of the month, 2013, July. And this is incredible because you can see the large object, large moon, but it has a major hold on a secondary planet that has an arm that it stretches out, and you can see the very last object. It has 2 trails to it at the moment, because objects are wrapping around the sides of it. Now, as soon as this begins to pull back, okay, there will be objects that go up and over and start coming back faster than this good-sized one here. You can see how the arm stretches completely out. These are things that make it useful as a tool, so you can see the sudden turns that it makes. These are objects coming down and over a larger object. Okay? You can see this one and how it rides on this beautiful trail. Okay? Until objects climb over the top and hide it completely, and it turns to blue again. Now think of it as a bubble. When we were kids, we used to blow bubbles. Think of it as blowing a huge bubble, okay, and watching that go across the sky. You're able to see the outline of that bubble and the movement because of that outline, but nothing else. You still see blue sky in the middle. It's that same concept right here. This is a large object, okay? And we are able to see it because of the interaction that it plays on the left and the right of it. There is a grab to this, okay? One grab goes to the other side, one grabs, of course, on this side. It holds this, and it's tugging at this. You can see the larger ones up here coming down as this is pulling itself in. Now, there are 2 things going on with each object. They are traveling in their own direction, and they are keeping gravity with the strongest object that they are going around. So it creates a corkscrew travel with. You can see that this is an object here, a large object that has things in front of it, okay, and that is shielding it. But through the movement of interaction, you can see the object. Okay. Everything creates 2 lines. Everything. Okay. This video was taken at the beginning of September. You can see this beautiful line. Okay, this debris trail that is created here. And as this is creating, you can see objects coming off the side of this major arm here. It creates arms itself. Okay? It's very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. You can see the fig leaves that are created at the end. You can see this large object. It's large. Okay? You see smaller ones here. But again, you can see the fig leaf that's created. Okay? And the objects that are surrounding this. Okay? The system is beautiful as ever as it encloses itself closer to us. The system colors, guys, are amazing, and they uniquely separate themselves with their beauty. The colors range from the velvet purple down to the iridescent green and to the blues. They each set form uniquely by themselves. As each one of the planets come up front of a system and show themselves, they divide themselves again with the colors. In this video, you can see how it creates the stairway to heaven, also known as Jacob's Ladder. This is because of the side-to-side motion that these planets are making as they elegantly move closer to us. And with doing so, has such beauty to each aspect of its turn. If you have ever slid down a water slide, you know the feeling of sitting in a half tube, going down with your heart racing, wanting that ride to last forever. And these planets are doing the same thing within the oxide cloud. They create that beautiful bathtub look. And as they weave themselves, they have a direction that they are headed. And at this moment, it is on a 33-degree tilt coming up to us. It's very beautiful, guys. And this is very real. This plays on so many things that are going on in the world today. It's through people's diligence, the ones that look up, and the ones that care for each and every one. And it doesn't have to be thrown in a manner of planets are on their way. It could be simply started by, can you see a change? We have to look, guys, within what is creating the beautiful trails that we're starting to see all around the world go across our skies. These are the areas that may have an atmospheric blue tone to it. But in fact, that is a large object breaking free from what it is interacting with. I've compiled some videos that are very compelling. Throughout these videos you'll see the blue object that with its arms throw around 3 massive moons with it. And while doing so creates disturbance all around it. And those objects being spilled from this main object that is seemingly barreling for us go in their own direction separately. But in turn they are gripped by a gravity pull from the main object. So while being pulled, they have a pattern that each one of them give. I've been following the system for well over 2 years. And while doing so, I've learned new things every day. New things that the system does to reflect itself on the horizon as I see it. The activity that is being created from the Nibiru system is record-breaking now. I've always said that everybody has their own unique story about the changes that are in their lives that affects them throughout their day. Now it's at our front door and it's beginning to knock. The animals have been speaking very fluently throughout the world in different locations, as well as our psyche pattern. The iron oxide that is emitted from each object has a strain that is not compatible with our electrical interactions. So again, this brings us back to step 1. The negative and positive interaction, whether they are a massive object as we're speaking of in our Earth, or that object in us. Everything on Earth somehow, in some way, is electrical. The system is very beautiful. It has a movement very elegant. It's only perfect in everything it does. All the turns, the lighting, and the misty effect that it carries with it while traveling through the oxide dust. While these objects in different sizes travel, they have a direction that they are heading. And past civilizations over and over again have explained this very significantly. We've been shown signs which became very apparent to me in the Bible. My religious upbringings steered me away in the long run from the religious aspect of life. That was until 20 years later. I fumbled onto a vision that was out of this world. Phenomenal. And I knew that somebody was tugging at me and wanted my attention for some odd reason. And I kept thinking that I'm just an ordinary person trying to make his way through life at the best way I can. But as these visions started to take effect in my life, I started realizing that there were a lot of changes that needed to take place as well. It was apparent that this voice seemingly came from an entity of some kind. This voice has spoke to me very few times. And when it does, it's very clear to me, strongly spoken. As my mind started to understand the full complexity of this, of what was taking place, I still undermined myself over and over. But one day of denying over and over, I said, no more. I've seen things that is not physically possible to see. Through physics, through science, through the educational path that we have taken for thousands of years. But we do know that civilizations in the past have written and have carved and have buried information pertaining a catastrophic event of some kind. Throughout these videos, they show the primary object and its moons that it carries again. And we cannot forget the red object because it's very beautiful and it's very vividly bright. It has very large wings and it is headed towards this direction at a slight bit of an angle to it. At first, when I first noticed that red glow, it was about 2 years ago and it was very faint and very small. In the last 2 years, I've seen the red object 3 or 4 times, along with multiple other colors on different horizontal levels. I've always said that the system, when it interacts with the oxide cloud and the other objects, it creates the colors of the light spectrum. But we have to also remember that when it interacts with each other, whichever color it is apt to change as it interacts with each object. And this is because of the size of the objects and the angle of the objects that are showing themselves in that particular color. Because when they leave the light from the sun and the object that creates the lighting within it, it starts to dampen in color. This is why it is required to have infrared while viewing the system in their own way. I want to show you throughout this video the lighting. I want to show you the movement of the system, how it creates the hands that hold the objects and the veins that just wisply go over the edges of it and hold that. It's the love, the hand that holds the ball.
It is a tough thing to be able to religiously open your mind and share it with the world, because you don't know what to share and what not to share, and that is written in the Bible. If God speaks to you, you must share it. You must, if it's coming from Him, you must share His word. And I'm still in that, I mean, I had a vision here a couple weeks ago, and I'm really not sure if it was yet a vision or a premonition, And that was a bit different because it came and it went. It was nothing that stuck with me. I just tried to share with what I see and how I feel with the world, and I hope I'm still doing it correctly. I mean, there's no right or wrong, in it. It's just sharing with your heart and making sure that your heart is pure when you share it and you're honest about it, and you only speak to help, not destroy.
Well, good day, everyone. Well, actually, good night. It's about 11:15 on June 19th. It's Monday. And I'm over here surfing the webcams, the Mexico.com website, looking at the Acapulco Marina. So let's go through the slides here today. You can see it's about 1800 hours, 6 p.m. in the evening. You see some strange things going on down here. Let's just keep going. I wonder what could cause that anomaly right there. Let's just see. I wonder what's causing that anomaly in the sky. Oh, we see something around right there. Let me just keep going right through here real quick. I see some big round object right there. It looks like it's coming up. Let's keep going. There's another round object right here. You see that round outline? What could that be in the sky, you think? I don't know. Huh. Now it's got some... Now look at that. What could that be? What does that look like? Is that just some lens flare, or is that an object in the sky? It's got craters on it. See that? It's pretty interesting. Is that a planet in our skies? Take a look at that. What is that? That's supposed to be our sun right there, shining on some big planet. It's going to go down. Oh, there it's gone now. Clouds have covered it up. Oh, that's back again. It's moving down. It's like setting. Oh, there's a something. Something's in the sky right there, guys. I don't know what it is. Well, if I say what it is, I'm classified as a nutcase, so I'm not going to say what it is. But looks like we got some planets in our skies, it looks like. There it is right there. So what could that possibly be that's blocking part of the sun? You guys decide. Check it out tomorrow. 6 o'clock in the evening. Let's see if it's there again tomorrow. There it is again. So you can see it kind of moving kind of quickly. I'll move through it real quick. One more time. Take a look at that. What could that be in our sky? Okay, guys. Have a good evening.